Right.
Shanmugh, yesterday video was uploaded on YouTube.
Not yet, not yet. I'll upload today. I'm having a issue,
Okay.
guys. Right. So I have created lot of Google Drive accounts, so it is not allowing me to create another Google Drive account. So I have to find another way. Till then,
Okay.
okay, I'll upload it. But for if you want immediate access, again, I told you right in the last class, go to batch 56 playlist. There we have already discussed all these things in the previous batch, right? Just you can the same kind of discussion will be there. Okay, you can just go through it in case
Hmm.
you need immediate recording. Okay, till then, till these issues
Yeah.
will be sorted out. Later, I'm going to fix it. I'm going to create a Google Drive account. Okay.
Yeah. No issues.
Yeah. Fine. Okay, so let's continue the discussion, guys. So in the last class, we discussed about the SQL Server installation. I'm connecting to the server again. So what I did is like I just whenever if you want to open remote desktop connection, you will just hit the Windows button and you will select this, or you can open using MSTSC also. What I did is right click, we can simply pin to this taskbar. Okay, pin to start, pin to taskbar, like that kind of thing will be there. So it will be pinned to the taskbar. So no need to search every time. So directly I'll go to this and I'll click on this. RDP will open. Okay, and once it's opened, of course, remaining everything is same. You have to give the server name and then you can click connect and make sure the server is up and running, guys. Okay, I'm connecting to the server now. And again, don't worry if RDP is not working, you can still practice everything by directly logging into the machine. Okay, so don't worry in case if you have any limitations, like as discussed, if your operating system is not supporting the RDP and all, nothing to worry. You can start the VM. You can directly log into the VM by just giving right control plus delete, and then you can continue your practice. You don't feel a kind of real-time server, but that is also it's the same server. Okay, the interface will be changed. That's it. So in the last class, we discussed about the SQL Server installation. Any questions, doubts, guys, so far? Any questions, doubts? Right, no questions, right? So okay, let's continue the discussion. So again, we'll install the named instance as discussed yesterday. I'll show you how to install the name. Same kind of discussion instead of default instance. We'll simply select named instance this time. But yesterday we discussed a lot of things, right? So this time, okay, we can just simply go ahead and we can install the SQL Server. So until there is a free space in your Google Drive, I mean to sorry, until there is a free space in the okay, until there is a free space in the C drive of the server, okay, you can install multiple copies as discussed up to 50 copies. You can install 1 plus 49, so one default instance and remaining 49 are named instances, but 99 percentage, okay, 95 percentage at least. 95 percentage will install only one copy, one SQL Server instance in one Windows machine. Just a minute, just a minute. Right. Okay. So until there is a free space in your C drive, why? Because now everything you are going to install in the C drive, right? So I can see there is 13 GB free space. So until there is a free space in my C drive, so you can install multiple copies up to 50, guys, up to 50. 1 plus 49 instances you can install. Why 1 plus 49? One default instance, remaining 49 are named instances. Sure, Anila. Fine. Okay, so now I'll install one more copy. Okay, so same as SQL setup, right click, open, and then setup file, right click, run as administrator. Right, go to installation, and we are going to choose new SQL Server standalone installation or add features to an existing installation. The first one, click on that. Show details. These are the checks that will perform before installing the SQL Server. And of course, Microsoft update, we can skip this one as the server will not be exposed to the internet. So no need to select Microsoft updates. You can just go to next. Right. Okay. Go to next. Right. So perform a new installation, or if you want to add features to the existing installation, you can select the existing installation, which instance you want to add feature. From the drop down, you can select that instance and you can add the features in the next screen. So in case if you want to add features to the existing installation, if you want a new installation, you can just go ahead and you can select this, perform a new installation of SQL Server 2019. Go to next. And of course, we are going to install a free edition, which is developer edition. Okay. And I'm selecting a developer edition and I'm going to next. Of course, for every software, we have to accept the license terms. I'm accepting it and go to next. Right. Okay. So now tell me, guys, what and all features I have to select here.
Database engine services,
Very
SQL Server replication services,
Very good. And
full text and semantic.
full text and
semantics.
yeah, so these are three important components that will be used for every database SQL Server. The main components of the SQL Server is database engine, SQL replication, and full text semantic search. These are the three main components. Apart from this, if customers are looking for extra services, as discussed earlier, there is a sheet called build sheet. In the build sheet, in case if they need Polybase, if they need analysis, if they need machine learning, if they need Python, Java, data quality services, whatever features if they need, they are going to include in the build sheet. Based on the build sheet, okay, we are going to select the features. If they don't include anything related to the features, means we have to select by default, we have to select these three from the specific feature side. And shared feature side, client tools.
No need to select because already it's downloaded.
Yes,
Yesterday we have selected, right?
Yes, already it's installed. So client tools connectivity, client tools backward compatibility, client tools SDK, and SQL client connectivity SDK. These are the four common shared features that we will select, as we have already installed in the first installation. We can see here grayed out, no need to install again. So you cannot even install also, you cannot even check that also. So automatically these shared features. Why? Because once you install this, so the same feature shared in the sense I told you, right? I gave you an example of PG. In the PG, if any new person is joining, again the PG owner, like he will not arrange any other extra Wi-Fi, extra refrigerator, extra TV and all. Those are the shared features. So one or two or three people are they have to share these shared features. Okay. So as we have already installed for the first time, so you can skip this one. So no need to select, and even you cannot even select also. Okay. So these are the main features that you have to select and go to next. For every copy, if you select these three features, generally you need roughly 1500 MB, guys. You can see here drive C 1500 required, and we have 13,000. So we have enough free space. So as we have already installed the default instance, this time you can install named instance. So it will not even allow you, okay? In case if you select default instance also, you cannot install it. Why? Because already default instance port is closed. Named instance, as discussed, you can give the name as per the naming standards and all in the organization. Even they only suggest the name of the instance, 99% is. In case if they did not suggested anything as per the standards, okay, the organization will follow the standards, how they will follow, how they will name the server, how they will name the instance, everything I will explain in the Active Directory sessions, okay, what is the meaning of server name, how to decode the server name, okay, how to identify whether the server is a production or non-production by using the server name, how to identify whether the server is a DB server or application server, how to identify whether it is a test or stage or dev or production. So all these things, how to decode the server name, we will discuss in the advanced sessions. So for now, I'll give one name. Okay. So named instance, what I'll do, I'll give simply batch57 SQL 2019. I'll give, guys. Okay. Can I give like this? Is it a valid name?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So this is a valid name. So just start with alphabets and no special characters. You can even give special characters also, dollar and underscore it will allow. It don't allow any other special characters other than dollar and underscore. So this is the instance name. Just click here once, instance ID, automatically it will be the same, whatever instance name is there with the same name, it will create instance ID. Instance ID is nothing but it's a folder that gets created for this copy. So even though you are staying in a PG, everyone will have their own private space, right? So all the files related to this instance will be stored in this folder. This is the private space of this instance. Like that, if we are creating third instance, one more folder will be created with that instance name. In the C drive, program files, Microsoft SQL Server, under that, different folders will be created, extra folders will be created for every instance. That is the private space of that instance where all the instance related files will be stored in this directory. Directory or folder, both are same. Okay, so this is the name of the folder that gets created once the installation is successful, guys. All the files related to this instance will be stored physically in this location. You can rename it if you want, or else generally we'll follow the standards. We'll keep it as a server name only. Okay. So already installed instances you can see, which is my MS SQL server. When you see MS SQL server means that is which instance, guys? Under instance name, when you see MS SQL server means default instance. Remember this, when you see MS SQL server in the services or in the folders, always remember, guys, it's a default instance. For default instance, the name of the directories and the name of the instance will be MS SQL server. For named instance, it will create, of course, with a particular name, but for default instance, it will take computer name, right? It will take computer name only while connecting. While connecting to the SQL server, it will take computer name. But in all other cases like services, folders, everything you can see with the name of MS SQL server. So if you see MS SQL server as an instance name, that is a default instance. Clear, guys? So you can see already installed instance, and the instance ID you can see MSSQL 15.mssql server, the features that we have installed earlier, and which edition it is and which version it is, everything you can see here, guys. Which version it is? Which version of SQL Server it is, guys?
RTM.
Version
2019.
not
2000.
2000 version in the
2019.
should be
2000.
number
2019.
2019 15.0, right? So it is 2019 copy. Okay, so I'm going to next.
Shamu,
Yeah, B.
after the installation, can you go to instant ID? Let me see how it is
It will
written.
not work. It will not work.
or
This is called,
oh,
it will not work. It will not work. So you can try it once. Okay. Instance ID in the sense, see, instance ID is also a server name generally.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's gonna
So
be
both are same. It will work. But if you instead of default instance computer name, if you simply give MS SQL server, it will not work. You got my point, right? You can still connect with instance ID because instance name and ID both are same. If both are same, you can, whatever it is, it don't know whether it is instance ID or instance name, right? It will check whether that instance name is matching or not. So if instance ID and instance name both are same, it will connect. But for default instance, I said instance name is MS SQL server. But while connecting, you cannot give MS SQL server. You have to give only computer name. That only it will work while connecting. Okay, just test it.
So no, when we finish with the installation, go to the instant ID file. Let me see how it is written.
I'll show you. I'll show you. I'll show you. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
So the next next session, I mean to say, the next screen is service accounts, guys. So service account, as we discussed, service account is an account which will help you to run the service. Every software, not only SQL Server, every software that you are installing in your laptop, including your laptop, every software that you are installing in your laptop, in the back end, the software will run as a service. If you install a Zoom, respective service will run, then only Zoom will work. If you install WhatsApp in your laptop, for WhatsApp in the back end, one service will be there. That service will run, then only that application will work. So for every software that you are installing in the Windows machine, whether it is your laptop or your server, whatever it is, whether it is a laptop or server, if you are installing anything in the Windows machine, so that instance, I mean to say, that software will run as a service. So all the services you can see in, where we can see all the services, guys?
Services.msc.
Services.msc, okay, is an application where you can see all the services that are running, okay, or that are installed. You can see here all the services. So once you install the SQL Server, so SQL Server is also a software. So respective services will get created when you install the SQL Server in the Windows machine. I'll show you what and all services, what is the use of each service will be discussed, okay. So service account, in the sense, service account is an account which will help you to run the service, your data read or write operations, read, write, modify, delete, alter, whatever it is. So the service account only will take care of it. Service account will help you to read the data to the disk. It will help you to write the data, to write the data to the disk and to read the data from the disk. So it will help. So service account is very important component. Service account should have proper privileges. Okay. So then only the service account will work and the SQL Server will run smoothly. So service account is very important component, guys. So you don't need to give the service account manually. It will take a default service account. But as I said earlier, default service accounts means it might create some performance issues as it might be busy with other services also. So we don't recommend using the virtual service accounts that you are getting while installing. Okay, these are the service accounts, right? So we'll give our own service account called customized service account. Okay, called customized service account. So how to create it, how to change the service account after installation, what is the impact of changing the service account. So everything will be discussed in the next session, guys. So if you are giving virtual service accounts, default service accounts, no need to give the password. If you are giving a custom service account, you have to give the password here. I'll tell you what password you have to give. The startup type can be automatic every time. So in case if Windows Server is rebooted, automatically the SQL services also has to be restarted. So the startup type, select automatic. Even though you don't select now, later you can still change it in the services.msc. See, the service of the startup type of the service is manual, right? If you want to change it, double click on it. You can click on startup type. You can make it automatic. In this way, you can change later also. But during the installation, it's good. Later we can forget. So that's why startup type means, what is the meaning of startup type, right? When you restart the service, when you restart the Windows machine, how the other services will be started. Is it going to be started manually or automatic or disabled state? So you don't want to start the service at all. You can keep it in disabled state. If you keep it as an automatic, when you restart the Windows server, automatically the services also will be started, guys. Okay, fine. Collation settings, as discussed last time, collation settings are language settings. So what kind of language it will accept in the databases, that is called your collation. So we have the default collation setting as Latin 1, SQL Latin 1, General, CP1, CI, AS. CP1 code page 1, CI case insensitive, AS accent sensitive, guys. Okay, this is the default collation setting, and as discussed earlier, we cannot change the collation settings directly after the installation. So if you want to share it again, okay, you have to rebuild the instance with the new collation settings, guys. So that is the another object, okay, during the installation. So this is the final, I mean to say, very important screen. Okay, so server configuration, like authentication mode, who can access the server, who can connect to this SQL server that you are installing. So here, to whom we have to add, guys, in the organization, to whom we have to
Database
add
team.
here, DBA team
DBA team.
and service account. Service account also has to connect to SQL Server, right, to read and write the data. So these two are very important. In this section, we'll add database team, DBA team, and the service account here itself. Okay. If you don't add anyone here, it will not allow you to proceed next. At least one account you have to add here. Okay. So for now, I'm adding a current user. So I just consider as an administrator. So when I click on current user, automatically whoever you're adding here in this list, for them, an account will be created in the SQL Server so that they can connect to SQL Server and they can give access to others. They can give access to others. So at least one person should be there. At least one person should be there to connect to SQL Server and to give access to others. And authentication mode, authentication means how you are connecting to the SQL Server. Okay. How you are connecting to the SQL Server, in what mode you are connecting, whether you are connecting using a Windows authentication or you are connecting using mixed mode authentication. Mixed mode, if you select, means you have to give the password. The username is SCA. You can see here SCA. SCA is the username and you have to give the password. So if you enable SCA also, you can connect to the SQL Server using SCA account. SCA is the default login. SCA is the default login which will help you to connect to the SQL Server. So what is the usage of the SCA? I'll tell you. So especially while creating the objects and objects like databases, jobs. So the owner of that object should be SCA. So that also will be discussed, the usage of SCA. But when you choose mixed mode authentication, it will ask you to provide the password for SCA account. So if you want to give the password, you have to give a strong password. So minimum 8 characters, one number, one special character. So you have to give, guys. So if you give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it will not take. So you will get the error. So minimum criteria you have to follow while giving the password here. Minimum 8 and one special character, one caps, one small, one number. Like a regular password complexity, the same password you have to give. If you want Windows authentication later, also you can enable this SCA. I'll show you how to do it later. That's why I'm installing with Windows authentication. You should know, right? If you install SQL Server with Windows authentication, can we change it to mixed mode later after installing? Is it possible?
Yes.
So the answer is yes, it is possible. Okay. even though you installed SQL Server with Windows authentication, after the installation, if you want to change it to mixed mode means both Windows plus SQL authentication. So just I'll give you a rough idea how it will be. Windows authentication means, for example, you are going to a shopping mall. Okay. So when you just stepped into the shopping mall, of course, there will be a security check, right? If it is a big shopping mall and all, there will be a security check, or else airport. Like, of course, you know how scrutiny it is, how scrutiny goes in the airport. So initially there will be a security check. They are going to check everything. So once you are cleared, once your security clearance is done, you can go ahead and you can take any flight. Okay. Again, in every flight, again, they don't check it, guys. Just initially they will check it. Okay. So Windows authentication is also like that only. Once you logged into the Windows machine, this Windows machine, if you have access to the SQL server, it will not ask any password. That doesn't mean without password I am connecting Shanmukh. Where is the security? Not exactly. You already logged into the Windows machine by giving the username and password. So Windows level, you are already a verified user. So Windows is allowing you and you have connection, you have access to the SQL server. So it will not stop. That's what. Once you stepped into the shopping mall, again there will be no security guard for every shop in the shopping mall. Only at the entrance, there will be a security guard, security checks will be there. Once you pass that, then no security guard will be there in each shop. So this is also same. So Windows level, you're already a verified user. You have an access to the Windows machine. You have already successfully verified your account and password while connecting to the Windows server in the RDP. In the RDP, you'll give username and password, right? There itself, you are successfully connected. And Shanmukh, those who can connect to the Windows servers, they can connect to SQL servers? No. Again, here one more thing will be there. Your account should be added in the SQL server. So once your account is added in the SQL server, and then if you can able to access the Windows machine, you can easily connect to SQL server without giving username and password. That I'll show you maybe in this session only. Don't worry. Mixed mode means Windows level you have to give the password. Application level means SQL server level also you have to give the password again. So that is called mixed mode. Two times you have to give the password. So that is called mixed mode, guys. This is how it will work. Okay, so don't worry, I'll explain. There is a security session completely. We'll discuss with the diagrams and all. Don't worry about the authentication. So data directories, I'm going to store everything in the C drive for now. So keep it as it is. TempDB, everything we discussed earlier. Max, doc, memory, file stream, everything we discussed. So I can go ahead and go to next, guys. Okay, that's it. So whatever objects we have selected and whatever the names we gave, everything, it will prepare a command. That command will be stored in the configuration file.ini. And then once we click this install button, this configuration file.ini will be called in the command prompt. Whatever inputs are there in this file, that inputs as per the inputs that you have selected. Okay, so SQL Server will be installed, guys. Okay, as I said, GUI means it's just for our purpose. Windows machine don't know what is GUI. Windows machine will work only with the command, but we don't know what is the command to install the SQL Server. So the installation center will help you to prepare the command with your inputs that you are selecting now, and that command will be stored in the configuration file.ini. And once you click on install button, so automatically the installation, whatever inputs are there in the configuration file.ini, so it will take the inputs and it will start installing the SQL server, guys. Okay, so let it install. Just give me 2 minutes, guys. I'll be back. So let it install in the meantime. right? Fine. So you can see, guys, yesterday it took around 10 minutes, something like that. But now you can see in 2 minutes itself it was installed, because yesterday lot of components installed, including your shade features and all. But now you can see only 3 components. Okay. Database engine, full text, and SQL Server replication, guys. So in this way you can install the SQL Server. So yesterday we discussed about the default instance, and today we discussed about the named instance installation, guys. Okay. So any questions, doubts so far? Any questions, doubts, guys?
No.
Okay. So how to validate whether installation is successful? Interview question. Okay. How to check whether installation is successful, how to validate, or in case if any errors are there, where to check. So the first thing is you can see the feature. Yeah, very good. Okay. So the first thing is you can see whether all the components are successfully installed or not using this screen. Okay. At the end of the installation, we'll get the successful screen, right? So there itself we can see whether all the components are successfully installed or not. And in the details section, you can also see whether installation is successful or not. That is the first way. We have second source also, okay, to see whether installation is successful or not. Okay. Let me go back to this. Okay. To see whether installation is successful or not, and to see any installation related errors, we can use summary.txt file. Okay. So summary.txt file will be generated in lot of scenarios. Okay. While installing, while patching, while upgrading, while remove patching also. While remove patching. I'll tell you what is patching, like how to patch it, how to remove the patch. While remove patching, while upgrading, and while, can anyone tell me, guys, in what scenario summary.txt file will be generated?
An installation is failed.
Very good. Yes, when installation is failed, we'll get the summary.txt file. In what other scenarios we'll get it?
Migration.
Migration will not get it. While upgrading, we will get it. Okay. Next.
While deleting any files.
Not exactly, or closer to the answer.
Adding any
While you can get
adding extra features.
that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. That's also kind of installing only, installation only. You can guess it.
Clustering.
Cluster, of course, that is also installation only.
Oh, okay.
While uninstalling the SQL Server. Okay, while installing the SQL Server, while uninstalling the SQL Server. Why? Because you will get the questions like this. So in case if the installation is failed, where to check? My uninstallation is failed, where to check? My patching is failed, where to check? My while removing the patching, it was failed, where to check? While upgrading the SQL Server, it was failed, where to check? For all these things, what is the answer, guys? The first answer is, what is your first answer? In the summary.txt file. In
Summary.txt.
scenarios, in all these scenarios, summary.txt file will be generated while installing the SQL Server, while uninstalling the SQL Server, while patching the SQL Server, while remove the patching of SQL Server, while upgrading. So from this list, if anyone is asking, hey, my upgradation is failed, where to check? Your first answer should be summary.txt file. Where the summary.txt file will be there. The next question will be where the summary.txt file will be there. It will be there in the setup bootstrap folder. Okay, where it will be, guys? Setup bootstrap folder. Okay, it will be there in the setup bootstrap folder. So there you can see the summary.txt file. So summary.txt file is the first source of validating and also to check any other errors are there. You can see here, this is the path of summary.txt file, C program files, Microsoft SQL Server. Okay, this is called binaries. I'll tell you. Binaries 150 and set up bootstrap folder, and then in the log folder, and then it will create a date and timestamp folder. In that you can see summary.txt file with instance name. So every instance will have a separate summary.txt file, not the same, guys. If you click on that, you can see whether the final result is passed or not. And exit code should be 0. If exit code is 0, that means it was successful. If exit code is any other number, sometimes it will be plus 3000, minus 3000. So other than 0, if you see any other number, means there is an issue with the installation. The installation is failed or it will be partially successful. Partially successful means what? Few components are installed, few components are not installed. Is called partially successful. Okay, guys. So what you will check in the summary.txt file? You will check final result is passed or not. You will also see exit code is showing 0 or not. Okay, and in case if it's failed, you can see in the below, you can see the errors, why it was failed, where it was failed, what component is failed to install. You can see in the summary.txt file, guys. Okay, in the summary.txt file, you can see it is also setting up the rules, what and all warnings you got it while installing. So everything you can see here. So this is your first source of getting the installation related errors and uninstallation, upgradation, patching, remove patching. So the first source is your summary.txt file. And if you don't find enough information in the summary.txt file, we have one more file also that is called detailed.txt, where we can see the same location. Go to this PC, C drive, program files, Microsoft SQL Server, instance binary. This is for 2019, right? 2019 means what is the compatibility level of 2019, guys?
150.
150. Go inside this 150. Set up bootstrap folder,
Setup bootstrap.
log folder.
Log.
There you can see with the different files with the date and timestamp. So the outside summary file is the latest one, guys. So now the latest action is patching 4/1/2025, 6:15, 6:16 p.m., 6:24 now, 4/1/2025, 6:24. So the outside you can see, always you can see one summary file. The outside summary file is the latest action. If you did patching now, this is summary.txt file for installation, right? So if you did patching now on the server, the summary.txt file, the latest one will be patching related summary.txt file, guys. Clear? Everyone, is it clear? The outside summary.txt file will be the latest activity of the summary.txt file. Okay, now I did installation. So this is the installation related summary.txt file. If I did patching now, okay, that installation summary.txt file will be replaced with the patching summary.txt file. But again, those files will not be deleted. You can see inside the folder. Okay, you can see here summary.txt file with the server name. And apart from that, see here detail.txt file. And also yesterday we discussed what is this, guys? What is this file called? What is this file called?
The configuration commands.
Config file.
Configuration file. So what it will have?
It
Command.
decode whatever we have selected the features, it decode in the machine language and it
Yes.
write its
Yes.
own script.
Yes, okay, it's a command to install the SQL Server or to patch, whatever it is. Whatever you are doing, it will prepare a configuration file. If it is installation, installation command will be there. If it's a patching, patching command will be there. If it's an uninstallation, uninstallation command will be there. If it's a upgradation, upgradation command will be there. Okay, so configuration means it's a file that containing the configurations of the SQL Server. Okay, so you can open this, you can see the command also, what command and all. You can see the action is equal to install command, you are installing. If you see action is equal to patch, you are patching. If you see action is equal to uninstall or remove install, that is your uninstallation. Action is equal to uninstall will be there for uninstalling. And for upgrading, action is equal to upgrade will be there. Okay, so based on that action, you can see whether this is an installation related summary file, or patching related summary file, or upgradation related summary file, or uninstallation related summary file. You can see here based on the action, guys. Okay, so like this, these are the commands. Whatever inputs we have selected, it will prepare a file. Okay, an exe file kind of thing that will be called during the installation, guys. So when you open detail.txt, you can see complete information. In the summary.txt, you can see basic information, why it was failed and all. In the summary.txt file, you can see just a basic information why it was failed. Whereas in the detail.txt, you can see complete information why it was failed. So if you don't find enough information, you know that installation is failed, but you don't have enough information in the summary.txt file, then the next source will be your detail.txt file, guys. Clear, everyone? Is it clear?
Yes, we are
First
clear.
summary.txt, then your detail.txt. Okay. Second source, checking the same, whatever we discussed, all the errors, installation, uninstallation, patching, remove, patching, upgrading. For all these things, even detail.txt file also will be generated. Okay, for all these things, summary.txt file will be generated. For all these things, detail.txt file also will be generated. Second source of checking the installation errors is detail.txt file. So where to check the installation errors, guys, if anyone is asking, first summary.txt file you have to tell, then detail.txt file you have to tell, then they will ask the next question, where you can find all these files, where we can find, guys?
Setup bootstrap in C, program files, MS SQL, so under 150 by there we can find.
So yes, you can simply instead of 150, why? Because it can be 150, it can be 140, it can be 160. So instead of 150, you can tell instance binaries. I'll tell you the path, okay? So in that instance binaries, you will have setup bootstrap. We will have a folder with the date and timestamp. Under that log folder, under log, date and timestamp folder, under date and timestamp folder, you can see, okay, the latest one, whatever it is. Under that, you can see setup bootstrap folder. Under that, you can see the particular detail.txt file and summary.txt file. All these things you can see in that particular folder, guys. That is the second source of checking the installation errors. And here, what you are going to see, guys, it is a very big file. You cannot even directly see the errors. Okay, it's very big file. You cannot go each and every, okay, line you cannot see. Very, very difficult. Okay, so how to check that one in case if we have errors? Okay, we'll simply use the search button. In case if anything is failed, generally it will tell you like failed to install, right? Search like this, failed. Okay, guys, failed will be there. Don't think all failed means it's an error. Okay, failed means lot of error reporting. This kind of failed will be there, so that's okay. It will clearly tell you in case if it is failed, this is the reason, like that it will tell you. So like that, keep searching where and all you can find failed, failed, failed. You can just keep searching. So otherwise, you have to search with multiple keywords. Error. Okay. Now see, this is error log directory. Don't think it's an error. There is a directory called error log directory. So that is the path of this directory. So like that, you cannot go through each and every line of the detail.txt file. So you can open in the interest, they will ask in the detail.txt what you will check it, how you will check it. So I'll search with the failed keyword or error keyword. So using these keywords, I'm going to check in case if any errors are there. And sometimes if errors are there, even though you searched, you might not see the proper error information here. For example, here there is a little error information is there, but you are not getting any hint. So if you see any error related information, just go and check above 10 to 20 lines and below 10 to 20 lines, you will get a hint. Sometimes you will not get a clear information why it was failed or why there is an error. So in such scenarios, if any error is there, try to read 10 to 20 lines above to the error, 10 to 20 lines below to the error, so that you will get an idea what exactly going on, why it was failed. At least you will get a hint. Okay, so this is how you have to verify in the detailed.txt file, guys. This is how you have to verify in the detailed.txt summary.txt file. So now you just check in the summary.txt, you just check in the detail.txt, still you are not getting enough information why it was failed. Then the third source is your event viewer. Event viewer is a Windows machine level, okay, events. It is going to collect all the events and information about the events, errors, warnings, critical things, everything it will collect. How to open event viewer? You can simply click on Windows button, you can type event, you can see event viewer, or there is a shortcut also, EVENT You have to type in the run, you have to type EVENT. This is the event viewer desktop app. Or else in the run, event viewer. Okay, so you have to open event viewer. Events you can view, that is called event viewer. So installation is also an event, right? So where we have to check exactly in the event viewer, Windows logs application. So if you click on that application, see, event viewer is, don't think only for SQL Server. It is for all the applications that are hosted in this Windows machine, including SQL Server. Got it right? So including SQL Server, it will track each and every application related information, errors, everything it will track. See here, this is an information. See, this is the source, MS SQL, Batch57 SQL 2019. You can see here. Information. Like that, if it is an error, you can see here error will be there. Under information, see warnings. How the warnings are there. But these warnings not belongs to us. It belongs to some WMI providers. Okay, and if you go down, maybe some errors also will be there. Okay, sometimes you can see warnings, see information. Okay, no errors are there so far. Okay, everything you can see information and warning. So in case if any errors are there, here error it will show you. And don't think if it is showing error that is related to SQL Server. In the source section, if it is showing MS SQL, then that is related to the SQL Server. If it is showing some other source, Windows team will take care of it. Clear, guys? And we can also even search in the event viewer. We cannot see now only 850 events are there. In the real-time server, thousands of events will be there. We cannot go up and down like this. It's not professional. So there is a filter current error log. Here you can see only errors. Okay, select errors, warnings if you want. Just click OK. You can also add the source also. If you want to see only SQL related errors, okay, select error and go down, MS SQL will be there until you get M, just drag it. MS SQL. Okay, we just started with MS. See here, all MS SQL you can select. Default instance and all. So these are the sources. And click OK. Now you can see only MS SQL related errors you can see. Can you see anything, guys, now? No, right? So there are no errors and warnings related to the MS SQL Server. Okay, so this is how you have to check, guys. Okay, the first source of checking the server installation errors is your summary.txt file. The second source is your detail.txt file. And the third source is your event viewer in that application logs. Okay, so these are the three main sources. If you don't find in the summary.txt, you can at least get it in the detail.txt. If in the detail.txt also you don't find enough information why it was failed, guys, whatever the three sources we discussed, you can tell these three sources to installing the SQL servers. For example, if he is asking, hey, my installation is failed, where to check? First summary.txt file, explain it. I'm just giving a shortcut answer. Just you people try to explain it clearly. First summary.txt file, then detail.txt file, and your event, your application logs. Hey, my patching is failed, where to check? Summary.txt, detail.txt, event, your application logs. My uninstallation is failed, where to check? Summary.txt, detail.txt, event, your application logs. My upgradation is failed, where to check? Summary.txt, detail.txt, event your application logs. Clear, guys? So next time while we are discussing patching or upgradation, okay, so again I'll just give you a brief where to check and all. I'll not explain again completely like this. Okay, that's why I'm keep on stressing in what scenarios. Okay, we'll check all these corners. So this is how we are going to check the errors, guys. Clear? Any questions, doubts so far? No questions? Are we good? Right. So we just installed only SQL Server. We just installed SQL Server, guys, but we didn't install the client. See, any application will have client server model. Any application. So we have installed the SQL Server, but how we are going to connect to the SQL Server? How you will connect to SQL Server, guys? Okay,
Through
you can connect to
SSMS.
SQL Server in two ways. One is SSMS, which is SQL Server Management
Management
Studio,
Studio.
and the second one is, can anyone tell me?
SqlDBA something.
Yes,
Semicolon
SQL
from-
command, SQL CMD, command prompt connection. So to manage this, you should know the commands, but SSMS is a GUI way of connecting to the SQL Server. SQL CMD is the command way of connecting to the SQL Server, guys. Okay, so now what I should have to connect to SQL Server?
SSMS.
SSMS I should have. So you have to install SSMS, then only installation will be completed. SQL Server installation is done, but to connect to that SQL Server, you should have SSMS, right? So that SSMS you have to install now. So how to install the SSMS, guys? Simple, go to Google and simply type download the latest version of SSMS. Download SQL Server Management Studio. Just type like this, download SQL Server Management Studio. And you will get the link from the Microsoft, learn.microsoft.com. Click on that. So SSMS is also a software. Every software will have a latest versions and all. So SSMS is also having a version. Okay. So you can see here, if you go down, you can see download SSMS and see here, download the SQL Server Management Studio. The latest version is 20.2. Sometimes not every interviewer, very rarely they might ask which SSMS version you are using. Why? Because when we are keep on connecting to the SQL Server, every day we'll log into the server, every day we'll open SSMS. Once you open SSMS, it will show you the version. So if you are having a real-time experience, automatically you can tell the version. So in the SSMS also we have versions, guys. 18 version is there, 19 version is there, 20 version is there. So the latest version is 20.2. No need to tell 20.2, 20.3. Just tell SSMS 18, SSMS 19, or we are using 18 version, we are using SSMS 19 version. But no one will ask, but still there is a chance that very rarely people can ask why we have to give the chance to them. Just when you open SSMS, keep an eye on the version of the SSMS also. Okay, yeah, it's already started, so I'm just canceling one. So once you clicked on it, automatically it will start downloading, guys. Okay, so no need to download again. So once you just clicked on this download SSMS, automatically it will download. Okay, in this way you can download. Sometimes, guys, technically, interviewers will play this kind of trick also. They will ask you what is the size of the SSMS file? What is the size of the SQL Server software file? Can you guess, guys? SSMS you can tell how much? No need to tell exact MB and all. Okay, you can
400 MB around.
roughly you can tell 500 MB. So SSMS size, any version up to 1 GB will be there. Okay, if it is 2005 SSMS, 2008 SSMS, it is around 800 MB, 900 MB and all. The older versions SSMS. The latest versions average 500 MB will be there. Okay, they might ask you this question, guys. The whole 30 minutes interview or 1 hour interview will be completed successfully. At the end, just to check your knowledge, what is the size of the SSMS file or what is the size of the SQL Server software? Tell me, guys, what is the size of the SQL Server software? Size of the SQL Server software. Guess it. Guess it.
107 or 108 MB.
108 MB. Yeah.
8 GB. We need 8 GB.
No, size of the SQL Server software.
Okay, okay.
I'm
So
not asking how much minimum storage we need to install SQL Server. I'm asking you will copy the SQL Server software, right? When you copy SQL Server software, what is the size of the particular file? Why? Because you have to copy from shared code to your server. So when you are copying regularly, if you are installing means regularly you will copy the software. So you can easily, if you are working, you can easily remember the size. So can anyone guess what is the size of the SQL Server software?
1 GB around.
Very good. Okay, so let me show you. While attaching the images, you will get to know. Okay, we have all the softwares, right? So go to settings and go to storage, SQL Server, click here and choose virtual optical disk file. I can see all my SQL Server softwares, Windows softwares, SSMS and all. See here. What is the size, guys? I told you how to decode this value. That's why we discussed earlier. How to decode this value. What is the size? What is the size? It is showing
1.5 GB.
1.5 GB.
Roughly 1.5 GB. This is your 2019 1.4 GB. This is your 2022 1.3 GB. SSMS 650 MB. Windows Server 5 GB. Windows 11. This is, but this is not this one licensed one and all. It will not work. Windows 2012 4 GB, 4.4 GB roughly. Windows Server 2019 4.8 GB roughly. So they will ask this kind of questions also. They don't ask Windows related file sizes, but SQL Server software file size and SSMS file size. There is a chance that they might ask this question also. These are the tricky questions. Like you can, if you are working continuously, then only you can remember the SSMS version. You can remember the size of the files and also sometimes they might ask these questions also. Just keep in mind, okay? Right, so now I guess it's downloaded, right? Let me check. It's still downloading, okay.
So SQL Server is different, SSMS is different, right?
Completely different, completely
Okay.
different. SQL Server is a server, whereas SSMS is a client. So using the client, I can connect to SQL Server.
Okay.
Okay, so now you are using WhatsApp, guys. So you are sending the messages, right? Where exactly it is storing? In the WhatsApp database servers, right? Whatever database it is, whether it is the SQL or Oracle or MySQL, whatever it is, that is a different thing. But all these messages are storing in the database servers, correct? But are you connecting to the database servers? How you are connecting to the database servers? Using the using the WhatsApp that you installed in your phone. So WhatsApp app is an interface to connect to the WhatsApp database servers. In the same way, SSMS is an interface. Using this interface, I can connect to the SQL servers. Guys, SSMS is different. SQL Server is different. SSMS is a client. It's an application to connect to the SQL servers. Clear, guys? Everyone? Both are not same, okay? Right. Now what I'm doing, guys, now I'm going to copy this SSMS. You can just simply use right-click copy, right-click paste to the server. And let me do that, okay? Right, you can see it was downloaded SSMS setup, right click, copy this SSMS, and you can go to the server and you can just paste it on the desktop of the server, guys. Control C, Control V also. Guys, once it's installed, 1 minute, let me show you this. The setup file. Once it's installed successfully, you have to close it. Okay, properly you have to close it, and after closing, you have to restart the Windows server. So I'm just pasting the SSMS setup file on the desktop, guys. Guys, I can paste it if my RDP is working properly. If RDP is not supporting, you cannot directly copy paste from your local laptop to the server. If RDP is working, then only right click copy, right click paste will work, or Control C, Control V will work. If RDP is working. If RDP is not working, you cannot copy paste the SSMS like this. Then Shanmukh, how to get the SSMS? If RDP is not working, enable the RDP connections, okay, and open Internet Explorer in the server, download SSMS in the server itself. Okay, like how you download in the local laptop, open Internet Explorer here. and download. Just go to Google, download the SSMS here itself so that you can get it. In the organization, again, how we will copy, guys? How we will copy the SSMS in the organization?
Shared path.
Through shared paths.
Very good. Okay, in the shared path, network path, the files that we are using regularly will be there, like SQL Server software, SSMS, service packs, cumulative updates, all the different files will be there, like tools, small tools and all. So those things we can copy. Always copy in the sense, in the organization, copy in the sense through shared path only we can copy. Okay, we don't download SSMS in the organization. Someone will be downloaded and he will keep it in the shared location. So if we are doing a new installation, we'll open that shared path. From that shared path, we'll copy the SSMS directly to the server, guys. Okay. But in your practice, if RDP is not supporting, don't worry, connect to the server directly, open Internet Explorer, they try to download it. But you have to again enable all the connections. You have to enable all the connections, then only you'll get the internet to the server. Once you started getting internet, then you can download SSMS, guys. Any questions, doubts so far? Okay. So let it be, and we'll connect after 15 minutes. So we'll take a break and we'll discuss after 15 minutes, guys. So I'll be back in 15 minutes, okay? The recording. Fine. So now let's discuss about the okay, let's install the SSMS first and then we'll continue for the discussion. Okay. So once you copied that SSMS to the server, installation of SSMS is very easy, guys. You don't see any options, just install button. Okay, so open this SSMS file with run as administrator. And before installing SSMS also, it will show you, it will ask you to restart the server, guys. So in case if it is showing as restart, please restart the server and then you can try it again. Okay, sometimes it will be installed, sometimes it will ask for the restart of the server. Restart, reboot, both are same. So here, in case if it's need any reboot of the server, it will show you restart button here. Instead of install button, you can see restart button here. Okay, if you see restart button here, you have to restart the whole Windows machine. Once restart is done, once the machine is back, you can again open SSMS setup file and you can click install button. That's it. Installation of SSMS is nothing, guys. Just one install button will be there. Just click on install. That's it. It don't, I mean to say, it will take time, but we don't have any options like SQL Server. In the SQL Server, a lot of things are there, but SSMS is a tool, right? Just click on install, automatically it will be installed. Let it be. Okay. Fine. So now let's discuss about the post installation components that gets created in the Windows server. Okay.
Shamu,
Yes,
is
please.
there any compatibility issues with the
I'll tell you.
SSMS?
I'll tell you. There is a separate discussion on SSMS. Once installed, I'll tell you. Okay. Post installation components. Okay. Post installation components that gets created. So what and all components will be created when you install the SQL Server? Okay. What and all components will be created when you install the SQL Server? Let's discuss, guys. So services. Okay. There are around 6 services will be created once you installed the first copy of SQL Server or instance. Okay, when you install SQL Server for the first time, 6 services will be created. When you install SQL Server for the second time, how many services will be created, guys? First time 6 services. Second time, if you install second
Only
time,
2.
tell me,
Three.
is it a 12 or any other service? See, for 1 copy, 6 services. 2 copies,
2 second only for second time only 2 services,
okay,
not the shared features.
okay. So let's
Things 3. Was it 2? No.
6 services.
6 services. So total every time when you install, six services will be created. Okay, so let's discuss, guys. Okay, for the first time when you install 6 services, I mean to say when you install SQL Server, 6 services will be created. First, let's try to understand what these 6 services will do. What and all different types of services are there? We have two types of services, guys. One is specific services. Okay, specific services. Second one is shared services. Okay, specific services and shared services, guys. Out of these 6, 3 are specific services and 3 are shared services. Specific is also called instance aware services. There is another name called instance aware, instance unaware. Instance aware services, instance unaware services. Okay, the other name of specific services, guys, the other name of specific services, instance aware services and instance unaware services. So when you install SQL Server for the first time, total 6 services will be created. In that 6, 3 are specific services, 3 are shared services. So Shanmukh, where to see all the services, guys? Go to the server. Where to see all the services? In the services.msc. Next, you can see all the services like this. Okay. Now just click on name so that the services will be organized in an alphabetical order. Okay, just click on the name. So now you can see all the services starting with A, you can see in the beginning, B, then C, like that it will go. Select any service and select, just type yes. So you can see all the services that are starting with yes. Okay, now you see here. Okay, SQL full text. Let me expand this first column. Right. SQL full text filter daemon launcher, SQL Server MS SQL Server, SQL Server agent, browser, and your CAP service and VSS writer. Let me add, this is the scenario of previous older versions. Okay, for the latest versions, 4 specific services. Okay, 4 specific services and 2 shared services, guys. 4 specific services and 2 shared services. For previous versions, it's 3:3. Now, the latest version 2019, 2022, 4 plus 2, guys. Okay, 4 specific and 2 shared services. And if you see now, okay, specific services means those are the, like yesterday we discussed, right, specific features, shared features. In the same way, specific services will exist once per instance. This is the database engine main service. Out of all these 6 services, let's try to understand what each service will do. SQL Server, in the brackets, instance name will be there. You don't see any other things extra. SQL Server, in the brackets, instance name will be there. This is a very important service, database engine service. This is the important service. If this is running, what is the status of this service, guys, currently? What is the status of the service? Currently, it's running. Okay, if it is running, then only you can connect to SQL Server. If this service is in stopped state, you cannot connect to SQL Server. The server will be in stopped state. The applications will be in stopped state. Yesterday, someone asked, what is downtime? Downtime in the sense, if the application is not accessible, how much time the application is not accessible, that time is called downtime. For example, you are working with a WhatsApp, you are using WhatsApp. If WhatsApp is not available, it's not working, you have a proper internet connection and all. You know, last year or 2022, WhatsApp is down for 7 hours. Anyone remember that, guys? WhatsApp, Facebook, all the Instagram, even
Yes,
all the meta services are down for 7 hours completely in the Indian time, night 11 to morning 6 o'clock it was down. If you remember, I don't know, 2 years back, I guess. Whole 7 hours downtime. Imagine 7 hours downtime means. So how much time the applications are not accessible to the users? That time is called downtime. What is the problem with the downtime? Imagine 7 hours, WhatsApp is not accessible. How many messages will be in like pending queue, guys? How much business will be stopped? WhatsApp business is also there. How much business will be stopped? If Facebook is not running for 7 hours, how much business they are going to lose? And if Instagram, especially if Instagram is not running for 7 hours, how much business? Right? So if imagine if Amazon is down for 1 minute, that 1 minute is called downtime. In 1 minute, how many sales are there for Amazon? Okay. Okay. See here. See 9.31 crore per minute. Amazon is generating 9.31 crore rupees per minute. That means if Amazon is down for 1 minute, how much loss they are going to get it? Around 10 crores. Around 10 crores they are going to get it, guys. The loss. So imagine 10 crore loss means, is it acceptable? You should know the impact of downtime. That's why I'm explaining with the big numbers. So don't think like every application is in Amazon. But if application is not available, lot of users will be impacted at the end of the day. Okay, so if the application is not available, if application is down for some time, so that time is called downtime. What is the problem with the downtime? Business loss will be there. Users impacted. Users will be impacted across the globe. Depends upon the application, guys. Clear now? I guess Radha, you asked right yesterday. Is it clear? What is downtime?
No, I didn't ask Shanmugh. Downtime.
Someone asked.
I asked Shanmugh.
Okay, Gopi. Yeah. So now is it clear, Gopi?
Yes, Shanmugh.
Okay. So that's how it will work, guys. So out of these 6 services, 4 are specific services, and the main service is your database engine, which is SQL Server service. That is the main service. If this is not running, SQL Server will be stopped. If SQL Server is stopped, whatever applications associated with that SQL Server will be stopped. So applications also will be down. So remember, this service should be up and running 24/7 by 365 days, guys. This is the main service, data processing, retrieving of the data. Everything will be done by the SQL Server service only. This is the second service, which is used for automation, agent service, SQL Server agent service, which will be used for automation, like to take the automatic backups, automatic restores. If you want to automate anything, you can achieve using this SQL Server agent service. This is the second service. Full text, as discussed, will help you to search the data. Using the full text service, we can search the data. So that is your full text service. And the CEIP service, it's not so important. It's a kind of a, what I can say, customer experience improvement program. So some surveys and all will be conducted, right? Like how the product, how the service will be. So in the same way, SQL Server customer experience improvement program will run, so that it will run in the backend and it will verify any errors, any issues are there, so that it will report to Microsoft. So that is the use of the CAP service. It's not important. See, it is not in running state. It's not important. It will just collect the information and it will send it to Microsoft. That's it. So Microsoft will review the logs and all. In case if it needs to add any enhancements and all, it will implement in the new versions. These are the 4 specific services. See, the same example, PG example I'll give. So when you are in the PG, how you are going to identify your plate, your glass? Guys, tell me. How you will identify? So same plate is there. Your colleague and you are having, both are using same plate and glass. I mean,
Your name.
yes. Okay, very good. Your name will be there on the plate generally. This is common. Or else at least some mark will be there. You will just add some color code kind of thing. At least a small mark, so that you can able to identify your plate. You can able to identify your glass. And you are able to identify your things. Okay. So if you see the name in the brackets, that is your specific services. If you see name in the brackets, that is called specific services. And let me refresh this. Actually, we installed 2 services, 2 instances, yesterday one and today one more. But why I cannot see the new one? New services. Why I cannot see the named instance services here, guys?
Maybe restart or refresh.
Yes, very good. Okay, I didn't refresh it. See, earlier itself it's open, like before installing itself it's open. So, but anyhow, let's wait. I'll refresh it later. So when you install it for the first time, you will get 6 services. You can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Clear, everyone? 6 services out of 6, 4 plus 2, 4 specific and 2 shared services. Okay. This browser service, I'll tell you the importance of the browser service. It will help you to identify the server in the network, but at this stage, it is little early to discuss about this. Forget about the browser service. And VSS writer will help you to write the data to the disk and all. These two are shared services. See, on the refrigerator, on the PZ fan, you don't see any name. Why? Because these are the shared features. Okay, so if you don't see name, those are the shared. If you see name, these are the specific features. Okay, so out of 6, 4 plus 2. So shared features will exist only once per Windows machine. Again, the same refrigerator, washing machine, only once per PZ or else once per floor will be there. Okay, if it is a big PZ, every floor will have its own refrigerator, its own fan and all, its own, I mean to say, its own washing machine and all. Okay, so once you install for the first time, these 2 services gets created. As these are shared, the second copy also will use the same. The third copy also will use the same services. The fourth copy also will use the same services. So these 2 will not be created again and again. Only these 4 will be created extra. See, now I am refreshing. You can see 4 extra services. See now. Okay, full text of batch 57 instance. Database engine service of batch 57 instance. Agent service of batch 57 instance. CIP service of batch 57 instance, and browser and VSS writer still remains same. Clear, guys? Is it clear, everyone? So when you install the second copy, 4 services will be added. These 2 are remain same, browser and VSS writer. And when you install a third copy, 1 more full text, 1 more database engine, 1 more agent for third copy, and 1 more CIP service for third copy. So like that, for the first time, 6 services will be created. Second time onwards, 4 extra services will be added. So Tabassum, it's 4, not 2.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is how it will be. Now tell me, if I install 5, type your answers in the chat. Direct message to me, not to the public. So type your answers in the chat. If I install 5 instances in the Windows machine, total how many services I can see? Type your answers in the chat. 5 instances if I installed, how many services gets created? Type your answers, guys. Just try it. I can see limited answers. Just I need participation. Okay. Okay. So Sharath 22, Tabassum 22, Kalyani 20, Radhakrishna 22, Wahab 20, Gopinath 22, sorry, Wahab 22, Gopinath 22, B 22, Sridhar 22, Kalyani and 2 shared, Anila 20 specific and 2 shared, Sunita 22, and Kalyani total 22. Okay, good. Okay, and someone said 20. Who is that? Kalyani. Okay, fine. So correct, guys. The answer is 22. Okay, very simple formula. 4n plus 2. That's it. 4n plus 2 is the formula. N means number of instances. So if I install 24 instances, how many services gets created, guys? 24 instances. Total how many services?
50.
24.
No, wait.
Huh? 24?
98.
98.
24 fours.
No, you have to
Sorry.
calculate.
Yeah.
No, you cannot calculate
Yeah,
out.
98, right? 98. Not
100.
services 98 only, right?
I don't know. You can use
Yeah.
calculator.
24 instances, right?
50 instance. 50 services.
50 services.
How 50?
Hey, you have to calculate instead and tell me the answer.
Yeah, just wrong.
98.
Yeah, 98. That's it.
Why, Sharath? Why 50? 24 into 2, 48 plus 2, 50. Yeah?
Sir, again I type 98.
So is it 50 or 98, guys? I hope you all
98.
know basic mathematics. If you don't know basic mathematics, you can use calculators. Calci in the run, if you type Calci, calculator will open, okay? Now you can use your phone's calculator also.
How many answers, Shanmugh? I was actually, there was some network issue for me. Just rejoined.
How many? 24 instances. If we install 24 instances, how many services that gets created?
24, huh?
Yeah, 24.
Okay, but first time it will create 6, right?
Type the answer, sir.
Okay.
Type the answer and tell me, like, I mean to say,
No.
the answer in the chat. First
Yeah,
time
I already
system-
pinged the
First
answer,
time.
22.
No, that is for previous one. Okay, for 5. I'm asking this time, I'm asking for 24 instances.
Okay, fine. It was disconnected for
I'm
me.
not saying 24 services. I'm not saying 24 services. If we install 24 instances, how many services gets created? That is my question.
Fine. I was asking about the 5 instance. It was
That is
disconnected for
22.
me.
That is 22.
Okay.
That is 22. Okay. So 24 4 96 and plus 2 98 services will be created. Don't tell your answer. I'll ask one more question. I want to see your active participation. Don't tell your answers. Don't calculate also outside. Okay. How many services will be created if I install 55 instances? Don't type your answers. Don't tell your answers. Type your answers in the chat only. If I install 55 services, 55 instances, how many services will be created? Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good participation, guys. Nice. What about others? I can see, okay, hardly 10 responses, guys. Radha, Anila, Sridhar, Gopi, and B, Wahab, Hari, Tabassum, and Sharath. What about others, guys? Sridhar, and okay, Mauni. Okay. Sunita.
Sir, once repeat question again.
How many services will be created when you install 55 instances?
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Only 3222. Very good. Hmm. That you have to think before rather not now. Fine. Sharat 222, Tavasum 222, Harshankar 222, Ahab 222, B 222, Gopinath 222, Sridhara 222, Anila Reddy 222,
Answer 3.
Radha 222, Nandakishore 222, Mavani 222, Sunita 222. Very good, guys. Super.
No,
Nice.
no, just now I recollected, Shanmugh. If it is 50, right, limit, we cannot wait.
Only Kalyani said the correct answer. Why? How we can install 55 instances in a machine? Simply calculator is there. Okay, so just using the fingers, calculate it, done. Chalo, 222. Huh? That's why I asked, wantedly I asked 55 instances. Tabasum, Anila, blindly just calculate it and tell me. Huh? Arey, we can install only 50 instances in a machine. Okay? You all know that, but simply you calculated it. Okay? So don't tell like that. So only 50 instances max. So Kalyani and Radha. And good, very good, guys. Remaining all are like, you just blindly followed that formula. Okay, fine. Any other questions so far? Right. Chalo. Okay. So now what we can do, these are the services that gets created when you install the SQL Server. And what are the folders that gets created when you install the SQL Server, that also will be discussed. This is very important. That is important. This is also very important. So go to this PC, go to your C drive and go to your program files, and you can see Microsoft SQL Server. This will be created. And when you open this path, this is called instance root directory. Okay, this path technically we'll call it as a instance root directory. So in the documentation and all will mention, okay, instance root, under instance root directory and all. So you should know, right, what is instance root directory. So instance root directory means C program files Microsoft SQL Server is called instance root directory. If you go inside instance root directory, there are, again, you can see number folders and naming folders also. These number folders are called instance binaries. Okay, this is called instance binaries. Sorry, I'm sorry. This is instance base directory, guys. Sorry. Instance base directory, instance binaries. Okay, instance binaries. If you go inside the numbered folder, is called, technically, sometimes manager, have you checked in the instance binaries? You don't know what is instance binaries? Or sometimes in the documentation or sometimes in the website while troubleshooting the issue, please check in the instance binaries. Binaries means that numbered folder. If you go inside the numbered folder, it is called instance binaries. In the instance binaries, you will have setup bootstrap. Main folder is setup bootstrap folder. Okay. So if you come back and you can see, these are the instance names. Okay. Now, without connecting to the SQL Server, I can tell which version of how many instances installed in this machine without connecting to the SQL Server, without opening the services. Without opening the services and without connecting to the SQL Server, I can tell how many instances installed in this machine. What are the versions of those instances also we can tell. How guys? How many instances are installed in this machine now currently?
2.
2. See, for every instance, one root directory will be created. This is for named instance. See, name is there. This is for which instance, guys? Default instance.
Default
MS SQL Server. I told you, right? MS SQL Server means it's a default instance. The services and the folders will be created with the name of MS SQL Server. So Shanmugh, out of these services, how to identify which one is default instance services and named instance services? If you see MS SQL Server in the services, and if you see MS SQL Server in the folder names, that belongs to default instance. If you see any other name other than MS SQL Server, that belongs to named instance. Clear, guys? how to identify the difference between a named instance service and a default instance service, a named instance folder and a default instance folder. Is it clear? So these are the folders that you can see, okay, when you install the SQL Server, and how to identify which version we installed. How to identify, guys? Which version we installed in this machine?
So
Bill,
binary.
num bill
can
number.
see here
The
it says-
ID.
Yeah, MSSQL 15. 15 means 2019. MSSQL 15 means 2019. If you see MSSQL 16, 2022. MSSQL 17.
2025.
Very good. Very good. Okay, MSSQL 13.
There is no.
There's no 13.
Hmm?
2013. Next time, if you tell blunder answers, I'll give you assignment for 10 times. You have to write all the versions. Do we have SQL Server 2013?
No.
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 So that's why I said remember these versions, bill numbers, very, very important. That's it. That will be your last question in the interview when you said 2013. Blunders means if you do blunder mistakes, definitely I'll ask you to write it down for 5 to 10 times. I am very serious about it. At least basics versions, if you don't know, how you can keep 5 years, 6 years experience. Okay, so 13, MSSQL 13 means SQL Server 2016, MSSQL 9, 9.0.
2005.
2005.
Very good, 2005. MSSQL 10,
2008.
8. Okay, so MSSQL 11, 2012, MSSQL 12, 2014, MSSQL 13, 2016, MSSQL 14, 2017, MSSQL 15, 2019, MSSQL 16, 2022, and 17, 2025. Okay, so this you have to remember, guys. So if you go inside, if I want to see all the files related to the default instance, you have to go inside. This path is called root directory, instance root directory. Okay, instance root directory. So instance base directory, instance binaries, and instance root directory. These are all the different paths. If you go inside that, you can see one folder MSSQL. There you can see your backup files. If you are taking any backups to the default location, you can see under this backup folder. Binan folder will be there. Binan. This is called Binan. Binan means you will have your templates and all, like system databases templates and all. I'll tell you what is this templates, where we will use these templates and all. And the data is very important folder. All the databases, data files and log files will be stored here only. What is data file? What is log file? How the data will be organized physically? How the data will be organized logically in the SQL Server, that will be discussed in the coming classes. Okay, so whenever you create any database, new database, the database related files you can see under data folder. Okay, data folder is very important folder. Full text data, install jobs, logs, REPL data. These are all some other folders that you will get to know all these things slowly while we are discussing the other things. Okay, so these are the folders that gets created when you install the SQL Server, guys. Clear now? Any questions, doubts?
Shanmugh, binary is what it contains actually? Binaries folder?
Setup bootstrap folder, configuration file.ini, summary.
Okay. Got it.
detail.txt.
Yeah, I remember.
Okay, fine, guys. Any questions so far? Are we good? Okay, fine. Okay, so now let's open SSMS, guys. Okay, so I'm going to open, so you can see now, see restart button. Okay, so as I installed SSMS, so after installing SSMS also, you have to restart. Installation is done, so you can go ahead and you can restart the server. So once the server is rebooted, then we'll connect to the server again, and then we'll open SSMS, and then I'll show you how the SSMS will be. I'll just show you how SSMS will be. There is a separate discussion on SSMS. Okay. There is a separate discussion on SSMS. In the next class, we'll go ahead and we'll discuss that one. Okay, just a minute. I'm getting one call. Just a minute. Right, okay. So I guess the machine is rebooted. Let's see. And it was back. Let's try to connect again. Okay. Let's give the password. 1, 2, 3. And yes. Right. Okay, so let's close this server name. You can minimize this. Now I'll just show you how to open SSMS in the next class. We'll slowly discuss about the SSMS, what is SSMS, why we have SSMS, what is the use of the SSMS, what are the limitations of SSMS. Okay, so all these things will be discussed in the next class. Right. Fine. So once you clicked on this, once you installed SSMS, once you click on this Windows button, you can see Microsoft SQL Server Tools, and click on that. You can see Management Studio. This is one way of opening Management Studio. Or else, once you click on the Windows button itself, you can directly see Management Studio. Or else, once you click on the Windows button, okay, just type SSMS. Just type SSMS. Okay. So then also you'll get the Management Studio. Just type SSMS, then also you'll get the Management Studio, SSM or SSMS, then also you'll get it. So in all these ways, we can open Management Studio. Once you installed, you can get it, guys. Okay, if you simply without installing Shanmukh, you said can you type SSMS, but I am not getting SSMS. Once you install, then only all these things will work. Okay, so in this way, you can open SSMS, guys. So again, SSMS is a tool. Using this tool, we can connect to the see here version 20.2. Okay, so regularly every day almost 6 to 7 hours will connect to SSMS, will work on the SSMS. So when you open SSMS, you can easily see the version. So that's why sometimes interviewers will ask, what is the version of SSMS? No, version of SSMS is different, SQL Server version is different, guys. So you should be able to answer that questions and all. Okay, so once you open the SSMS, it will help you. It will ask you to connect to the server name. So once you give the server name and all, then you can connect to the SQL Server. But here the point is the server should be up and running. The SQL Server should be up and running. In the services, if the SQL Server, the main service is down, this is very important. Sometimes if you are not able to connect, how you will troubleshoot, they will ask in the interview question. User is not able to connect to SQL Server, how you will troubleshoot? So why users cannot connect to SQL Server? If SQL Server is in stopped state, you cannot connect. Okay, so let me show you that this is my services, right? So just click on this name. It will be arranged in the alphabetical order. So this is the service, main service. If this service is down, if it is in stopped state, so in the SSMS, I cannot connect, guys. It should be up and running. Then only I can connect. If it is not running, what error we will get it, I'll show you in the next class. Okay. Once you open SSMS, it will be opened like this. It will ask you to connect to server. So which server you want to connect, server name you have to provide. Okay. Here, if you click on the drop down, you can see the installed instances, or click on the browse for more and expand the database engine. You can see all the installed instances in this machine. There are 2 instances installed. This is one instance name. This is another instance name. I want to connect to default instance. Default instance means what, guys? What is the name of the default instance? While
Computer name,
connecting,
computer name.
This is the computer name. If you remember, see here, WinUJK85B18L0I. See, same. This is the computer name. And click OK. And how you are going to connect? Using Windows authentication, using SQL authentication. These are all different ways of connecting, guys. For example, we have locks, right? We have normal standard locks. Like we use it for the door, to lock the door. We have standard locks, okay? And we have door locks, we have smart locks, and we have different ways of locks, chain locks, like that. These are all different ways of authentication, how you will connect to the SQL server. Okay, so out of these, we'll mostly use Windows authentication, SQL Server authentication. So for now, Windows authentication, I'll explain in the security what is Windows authentication, what is SQL authentication, what is the difference between these two. So in the latest versions, it will ask you the encryption also. So if you keep this encryption as optional, no need to select this one, trust server certificate. If it is mandatory, select the trust server certificate and click connect, guys. So in this way, you can connect to the SQL instance. See, now you connected, guys. This is how the SQL server look like. This is the default instance. If you want to connect to named instance, this is the connect button, guys. Or click on connect. Again, database engine will be there. Or directly click on this charger button. Okay, charger icon. Give the named instance name here. Named instance name will always follows computer name / instance name, guys. Let me go and add this point here in the document. And this one, name, where is the name? Okay, to connect to the named instance, you have to give computer name / instance name. Okay. So I can install one more Batch57 SQL 2019 in another Windows machine. But how you are going to differentiate both? This is 0i batch SQL 2019. That is maybe, okay, 0j. I'm just giving a rough name, okay? The computer name will be, computer name is a kind of a family name. So computer name / your instance name. So you have to give this to connect to the named instance. Clear, guys? Is it clear? If it is a default instance, computer name is enough. It is named instance, computer name / instance name you have to give to connect to the named instance. This time, I'll keep it as optional. You can still connect. If it is optional, no need to select a trust server certificate. And if you just keep it mandatory, and if you don't select a trust server certificate, let's see what error we will get it. Connection is successful, brother, but you have to select that trust server certificate, like that, you will get it. Again, as a DBA, you should have 3 main qualities, guys. What are those 3 main qualities, Kushi? Can you tell me what are those 3 main qualities as a DBA? Can anyone tell me if you watch my previous recordings? What are the 3 main qualities of a DBA? Guess it. Okay, first one I'll tell you. Okay, first one is patience, guys. What is the second quality?
Patience.
Patience. And third?
Third one is also patience.
Very good, Tabassum. Okay. So as a DBA, you should have patience, guys. In what scenario we should have patience means to read the error completely. Generally, people, they don't read the error completely. But believe me, if you read the error completely 2 to 3 times, okay, it will give you hint how to troubleshoot that error. See, a connection was successfully established with the server, but an error occurred during the login process. Provider SSL provider error 0. The certificate chain was issued by an authority that is not trusted. The certificate chain was issued by an authority that is not trusted. So it is saying trust certificate related things. So where I can see certificate, yes, I can see certificate here. See trust server
Encryption.
certificate.
Yeah.
Okay, see trust server. If you connect, if you select it, click connect, that's it. So that kind of patience you should have. You have to read the errors multiple times, so that you will get a hint at least while reading the error. It will give you some terminologies. Using the terminologies, using that keywords, if you are able to search, okay, then you can easily, at least you can try fixing the errors, guys. This is how we can connect to the named instance. Okay. Any questions, doubts so far? In the next session, I will tell you about the SSMS, so don't worry about the SSMS. What other things we can do with the SSMS, I will tell you. If you don't have any questions, that's it for now. Okay, and again, if you want to
Yeah,
practice,
Shanmugh.
yeah, please, Samson.
Just now you have showed that if we choose a mandatory, then we have to give a trusted certificate, right?
Correct.
If we have chosen optional,
No need to give.
so is
Optional
it
means
compulsory to choose mandatory,
not
or
at all, not
we
at
can choose any the live
anything is
environment,
fine. Anything is fine. Why?
production?
Because people will try to explore, right? While exploring, they will get the errors. So that's why I'm explaining. So if it is optional or
Okay.
mandatory means choose trust server certificate. Optional means no need to choose trust server certificate. Anything is fine. No issues at all. Okay.
No, why? Because in the production live environment,
Nothing-
maximum for the security purpose, we will choose mandatory for trust
nothing-
certificates, right? So
Nothing
just
like that. Nothing like that. Before,
okay.
see, this was introduced,
Okay.
this check was introduced from 2019 onwards. That to latest SSMS. So
Okay.
if you use old SSMS, you don't see that
Okay.
check itself. That doesn't mean we cannot work with the previous versions, right? So that is just nothing.
Yeah.
You can, if you keep it as mandatory, select the trust server certificate. If it is optional, no need to select it. It won't create any issues on the production. Okay, no impact on that.
Oh,
Certificate
okay.
is
Okay.
something
Thank you.
different, but while connection certificate will functionality, the functionality of certificate is different while connecting. Okay, so no need to worry about it.
Okay. Fine. Thank you.
So that's it, guys. That's it for now. Okay, so we'll connect in the evening and we'll discuss the other things. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
Okay, guys. So don't miss the evening session. Evening session is like a kind of a surprise. So let's see. In the evening 7 p.m. IST, we'll connect, and tomorrow morning 8:30 EST for US people. Tomorrow morning 8:30 EST for Indians. Tonight 7 p.m. IST, guys. Thank you all.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anila. Thank you, everyone. Bye. Guys, if you want to practice, no need to wait for this recording. You can just go ahead to the SOS University in the YouTube channel, go to playlists, go to batch 56 playlist. Okay. So all these sessions, some of the sessions we have already uploaded. So previous batch you can see until the Google Drive issue is sorted out. Just watch it there, but I'll try to upload the session as early as possible. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you all. Bye. Good day. Good night. Bye.